Good morning, guys. We are talking about complex numbers with Unit 8. And the first thing I want to remind you of is when you are subtracting, remember that the negative has to be multiplied into the second parentheses, and then you combine like terms. Now, typically, you're going to see your answer written like this, okay? But either way would work. I would take either answer. Today's is going to be a little different, and you'll see that here in a minute, okay? The other thing I want to remind you of is when you have two parentheses multiplied together that you are double distributing and then combining like terms, and make sure you put it in the correct order. This will be very big today, and you'll see that here in a minute, okay? I need you to understand that the X's and what you're fixing to see with the I's work the same way. They're just different letters. And I's have a couple of rules that you may not be used to. The first one being anytime you have the square root of -1, it equals an I, okay? And then the second one, if you have an I squared, it equals -1. So we're gonna deal with that first rule today, the -1 equals I, the square root of -1 equals I. So when you are looking at these, you are going to start with separating them. So you have square root of -1 and square root of 4, because then if I multiply them back together, they're back to normal, okay? I know because of the rule that this one equals I. And I know because of a tree, I can break it down any pairs because it's a square root. I know that this one would be a 2. So when I put those together, my answer would be 2I. Okay, let's do one that doesn't come out perfect like this. Let's do number C. So again, I'm going to separate it, -1 and the 8. Again, this one I know comes out as I, but this one I'm going to break down. So I've got 2 and 4 and 2 and 2. Remember to mark out the ones that are no good or that have been broken down. Okay, I need pairs, so I have a pair, and then I have a leftover. Remember, the pairs get to go out, and the leftovers stay inside. So I have a 2 outside. I's always go outside. And then I have a leftover 2, which will stay inside. Please keep in mind, if you have more than one number that go inside or outside, you will multiply those together before you write them down. Okay? All right, let's look at this last one here. Again, going to separate. I know this one equals I. This one cannot be broken down, so I'm going to leave it. So only the I goes outside, and the square root 2 stays square root 2. Okay? That's how you simplify those. And if you have questions, please make sure you ask. Okay, the second part that we're going to look at, you are going to have what you call a real part and imaginary part. Okay, the real part is your regular number. Your imaginary part is the part that's going to have the I with it. Please notice that this one is backwards from what you're usually seeing the ones with the X. Okay, so the I usually goes second. Okay, these are the easy ones. Tomorrow we'll get to the more challenging ones. But when you have addition, you are just combining like terms. So it's like you get to ignore the parentheses and just combine like terms. So this one would give us 3 plus 13I. Okay? Again, if you have a minus, like what we did up there at the top with the X, you've got to distribute this in to that second parentheses before you can combine like terms. So that would leave us with 8 plus 3I minus 2 minus 4I. And notice I didn't put the parentheses because they're not needed anymore. Go ahead and combine your like terms, putting the real one first, so that would give us 6. The imaginary one second, which is a -I. And you are good to go there. Okay. Again, on this one, you would distribute first. Combine like terms. Putting the real one first, imaginary one second. Because the next one is addition, remember I get to ignore the parentheses and I'm just combining like terms. So the real one first, imaginary combined second, and you've got your answers. So that is all you are working on today, is breaking them down and then adding and subtracting. If you have questions, let me know.